Okay, I want to go over a custom mod for a SK370F fine gauge SSR, and of course this is the original 370 carriage, and this is the original 370 bed. Now it is no longer in the 370 case. It has actually been changed over into originally a 700. Along with the patterning device, and there were some mods that had to take place for this to fit and for the row counter to fit for the KR7 that's built into the 700. Yes, it is working beautifully. This is actually the carriage arm for the 700, and of course for this to work there is one mod that you do have to do. Yes, I do have the arm for the 370, but at this particular point, I'm talking about the mods. So these have to be changed out. These are the ones for, of course, the fine gauge. And just a second. Oh, where did it? I just had it. Oh, here we go. These are the ones for a standard gauge. Notice the difference in the teeth. You can order these and you can change these out on the AG20. You can also change them out on the carriage arm, and you can also change them out on the YC6 carriage arm. Okay, oop, set that out of the way. Move this guy out of the way, and the FRP 70 fine gauge ribber, I modded. I ended up taking the automatic changer for the ribbing for doing double bed jacquard and moved it to this machine, making this basically an FRP 70N. I also took the carriage for the 60N, put it onto this one so that it will have the automatic row. Not sure if I can, oh, there we go. So it'll have the automatic row changer and therefore be able to do the stripes on the back side of double bed jacquard. For the Singer 700 carriage, I had to change out the patterning drums and the sub-patterning drums in the carriage to get it to work on this one. And it does so. It works really well. And like the 700, it works nice and smooth. This gave me the access to the KR7 that was built in, and therefore capabilities of doing full-size patterns. I did have to modify where the row counter goes and where the flip lever is for the 30 pattern repeat patterning device, because the 370F bed had them in different locations. I also had to drill a hole underneath the bed for a couple of the brace pieces, because one of them didn't even have a hole, and I think one of the other ones, it wasn't in the right place, so I ended up having to drill holes there. I also had to drill holes and order 2M screws, because the old original screws for this, although I have them, I don't have taps for them. They were not standardized. 2M is standardized, and I already had 6M taps, so that's what I used underneath the bed. They work really nicely, and let's see if I can real quick pull this little guy back over here. Ugh. Doing all of this one-handed does not work for me. only have one hand that I can use. Now, this one is a modded YC6. Same little wheels is what you have to end up changing out on these guys to get them to work. Yes, the YC6 does fit this machine and bed. And with changing out the, I believe they call those material or dressing wheels, once those are changed out, then the YC6 can be used on this machine. You do have to change those out for them to work on here. All you have to do is change them back to use the exact same YC6 arm on a standard gauge. But I actually ended up buying two, just so I've got one that I can leave specifically. That's the reason I've got it labeled for fine gauge, and one specifically so I can leave it set up for standard gauge. I think that's all the mods that I did on this particular machine. But works really, really nicely, and it's just one of those things that, you know, for me, it was what I really wanted. So it is possible. If you want to do it, I highly suggest you really sit down and think about everything that you need. But those are the main things that I did need to do. For the bed cut pieces, I used a Dremel with a cutoff tool, and for drilling these holes I ended up having to have a hand drill, and it's not easy to find the taps for these, but if anybody needs to find those, I can end up telling you where I got them from. Alright, hope that was useful information to somebody.